What day is it?
Saturday.
Saturday. It's a great day.
August the
15th.
15th.
Saturday, August 15th. That's a good day. Good day. Okay, let's jump right on in.
We shall. Let's.
We're twinsying tonight, so I guess you know.
Cookie Monsters.
Well, we might talk about that story at the end. We'll see. Okay, relaxation. National Relaxation Day. I think every day should include some sort of relaxation, right?
Yes.
Lulu agrees. But Sean Mulder founded National Relaxation Day in 1985 as a fourth grader. Smart young man. In an interview with Valerie Monson in the Des Moines Register, Sean suggested people shouldn't do anything of real value. Cleaning and real work are not part of relaxation. That's a kid that is wise well beyond his years,
Yes.
you know. I mean,
Raised by some good people.
shout out to Sean, all right? Sean out there, he was a fourth grader in 85. He's an older man now, so wonder if he's still relaxing. So, Sean, if you're listening, we applaud you. in a Z formation. All right, how about Lemon Meringue Pie Day? More of a coconut meringue, but, you know, lemon's okay.
I like lemon. I don't want it in my pie.
Yeah, coconut cream, coconut meringue, coconut cream, I guess is what that would be called, right? Patties in, is that right? Patties in Kentucky Lakes. The cakes or the pies that had the meringue about that tall on it. Wolf's Barbecue. Any folks from southern Indiana remember Wolf's Barbecue? Same thing. Used to have the meringue about that high on the pies and stuff. Good. So moving on. Not a lot of meat in these today, you know, just some here they are type things, right? Leathercraft. So Leathercraft Day.
I thought you were going to say Leatherface.
No. That's Halloween's coming later for that. Leathercraft Day, which I guess he was crafty with sort of leather there. You know, Tandy Leather created National Leathercraft Day in August 15th, 2018 to recognize the art of leather crafting and to encourage everyone to become interested in the craft. And of course, they sell the products and material. Again, very common theme with this. And, you know, you see what I wrote down there, right?
I don't have my glasses on.
What's it say?
Hobbies of the month, my wallet.
Yeah, you know what that means, right?
He made his very own wallet.
Yep.
He made his own wallet.
I forgot to bring that with me to the set tonight. It's over there, but I'm pretty proud of that, you know. And my hobby of the month, that's a topic for another time. But so we need to tell you the story about the shirts. We need to tell you the story about the hobby of the month. I think you and the kids would be good to tell that one because that's picking on me.
We'll let them tell that story.
All right. How about Homesteaders Day, National Homesteaders Day? This one is interesting because this is the first year, okay? So National Homesteaders Day was submitted by Preppin' Mama in 2026 and approved by the National Day Calendar Registrar to be celebrated each year on August 15th. The observance also serves as a public launch of the Lost Skills Revival. It's a year-round initiative encouraging individuals, families, and communities to reclaim one lost skill at a time. So this is brand new, and you know I did a little research on it because of that, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly is this Homesteaders Day all about. Just like it says, they're kicking off a year-long campaign for everybody to sign up and to agree to do around 7 original heritage skills. Now, at first, you know, I'm thinking, okay, they're trying to take us back to pioneering days.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. Which we just watched, a great series we just watched recently.
It's a good
give
series.
A chance to see
Gotta watch. Good, clean fun.
Yep. But so what they've done, as far as what I see, they've taken some of those Little House on the Prairie skills, but kind of updated them. You know, not saying, you know, turn off the electricity, start doing this or that. So here's the 7 skills. Number 1, they want you to pick one of these as a family or an individual and work on it over the next year. Make it a commitment. Grow. Okay. So raise plants and animals to nourish ourselves and others. Okay. So garden or anything you can do there. Preserve. protecting harvest and reducing waste. Make, creating useful things with our hands, sort of the Leathercraft and the wallet that wallet has outlasted most commercially produced wallets for sure. Still looks great too. But make, mend. I like this one. Repair instead of replace. And there's some good stories around that. Bottom line, we live in a society where if something breaks, you throw it away, you get another. And I'm
my
just as
washer and
guilty.
dryer.
I'm just as guilty, of replacing, Here's another story. Boy, we got a bunch of them to tell, don't we? Build, hands-on practical skills to create independence. Gather. And, you think, okay, gather, here we go. Go hunt rabbits and whatever and bring them in and eat them, Gather. Bringing people together to share knowledge, storage. I keep hitting on new stories, don't I? Bringing people together to share knowledge, stories, traditions, and practical skills. So gather together, and we are missing that in our culture. Honestly, we are not gathering together. Families don't sit at the dinner table anymore. Even when we're out to eat, we're all, on our phones. We're not connecting with one another. And then rolling out of that also is community. Supporting one another, strengthening the relationships that build resilient communities. So to me, the gather, bringing people together, sharing knowledge, stories, traditions, community, supporting one another, kind of go together. So interesting thing. I encourage you to look at the Preppin' Mama. And that is not really a site selling things, okay? So it's not kind of like the others sometimes, but might be worth a peek.
Is that my headband?
Well, yeah. It's got your hair in it. Do you think I usually wear a headband?
Well, no, but I
like
just realized you're wearing my headband.
Guys wear sweatbands, so this is a headband. I wanted to match you. This is my shirt, though.
Okay. I just playing.
All right, and then we got this one, International Homeless Animals Day, and that's one.
That makes me sad. Yeah. That makes me put on the little sad guy.
Okay, there you go. We do have emotional figures.
I do have emotional finger puppets.
Emotional support finger puppets. Yeah, there you go. Okay. But on a good note, our dogs, we have two of them, Cooper and Lulu,
they're both
that
rescues.
are running around. They're rescues. When we were younger and newly married, we made the mistake of buying, I guess, what do they call designer dogs, or, paying not astronomical, but paying large sums of money for pet shop dogs or pet store dogs. Since then, of course, our dogs have all come from the shelters and the rescues. And so it's a great thing to do and think about, of course. But here's some statistics. All right. The reality here is 70 million homeless animals fill the shelters in the United States.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the epidemic extends, of course, beyond our borders. Many countries around the globe face extreme homelessness among domesticated animals. In Europe, approximately 100 million abandoned and homeless animals roam the streets.
Wow.
Most of these homeless animals are dogs and cats. And on a global scale, 600 million dogs seek homes or wander the streets.
Wow.
So, International Homeless Animals Day, to bring awareness to that. I guess kind of go back to the Bob Barker, too. Mm-hmm. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Let's do responsible pet, I was going to say ownership, but, we own them, but they own us, don't they? They own our hearts. Pet adoption. Yeah, responsible pet ownership is what I was trying to get to. Be responsible pet owners or parents.
Speaking of,
there's Cooper again.
How'd you know he's talking about you?
He needs a spot in the middle, doesn't he?
How'd you know he's talking about you?
All right. Well, so there was a couple of more that I found. They're a little more obscure. They're not necessarily official. All right. This one was interesting. I kind of told you a little bit about it, I know. National No SpongeBob Day. So National No SpongeBob Day. Takes place every year on August 15th.
Well, I got news for you, Bucko.
We're never a SpongeBob.
Every day for me is a no SpongeBob day.
I got to be honest, we never really, and I don't think
our
kids ever
no, they
really,
did.
they?
Oh,
Okay.
Yes, they did, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. They were, they
was that Uncle Soggy Bottom or Captain Underpants or something? It was a book series or something.
A book series, yeah.
But, of course, we know SpongeBob and Patrick and,
we know.
Those things. But
and we know people that look like them.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, especially with us not being diehard fans, I didn't know this, okay? But This lighthearted, unofficial holiday began as a joke inside the world of SpongeBob SquarePants for the fans. And it's been adopted by the fans as a tongue-in-cheek kind of excuse to step away from their favorite cartoon for a single day. It's a celebration built on really the affection and love rather than the dislike. And most people who market are devoted SpongeBob fans in the first place. So if you know anybody celebrating this, they're definitely a SpongeBob fan, I would say. So the day comes straight from a SpongeBob episode called Gone, where Bikini Bottom turns a one-day break into a fortnight-long holiday. So they took a break from SpongeBob. And so it comes directly out of the series itself. So a couple of interesting facts or things about the series. SpongeBob was almost called Sponge Boy, but the name was already trademarked by a mop company. It forced a last-minute change. So this was a very drastic. I mean, I know SpongeBob, but Sponge Boy. I mean,
SpongeBob has such a better ring to it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
So, and that's what we know.
Yeah.
I mean, would we have been okay with Sponge Boy? But it just sounds strange, right? Creator Steven Hillenberg. Now, he was a trained marine biologist before he became an animator, which is why the show is packed with real ocean creatures. And I read somewhere else, too, that, and this might be interesting, kind of look up if you want to know more about the history of something like this. He was using this, I think, he began illustrating to help children understand and to communicate some of his marine biology information. And let's be honest, that can get a little deep for a child, for even an adult with some of the marine biology. So he was using that. I believe it started out as, a way to help to teach the children about some of these advanced topics. SpongeBob SquarePants first aired on July 17th, 1999. And since then, it's been broadcast in well over 170 countries and translated into dozens of languages. The vast majority of people who observe, I already said that, this is one of the most affectionate anti-holidays around. All right. One more that we have.
One more.
International Geocaching Day.
Okay.
So this is not what we used to do with, I know Jesse and I used to do letterbox.
I think so.
I think is what it's called. I got some where you had the stamps, you go around. It was a really good event to do as a with your children. I had a great time with it as well. We had a hitchhiker when we were in Hawaii. So anybody knows what that is, put it in the comments, please. Otherwise, we'll talk about that again someday. But there's some interesting background to the geocaching, which of course is longitude, latitude, GPS. So geocaching began in May of 2000. It was days after the United States government switched off selective availability. They were deliberately degrading the accuracy of civilian GPS signals. So they turned that off, and you think about it, even cars, you remember the GPS systems, they tell you to turn and you were like, half a mile from past the exit, or they weren't very accurate. Now they're spot on. I mean, they are down to, pinpoint accuracy. That's part of this. So when the government turned off the selective availability, which basically made the signals more precise, it immediately went into now the game possible almost overnight. And so Dave Ulmer hid the very first cache. A cache is a bucket of items. He hid it near Beaver Creek, Oregon. Posted its coordinates online. The hobby grew rapidly once geocaching.com launched later that year. So the International Geocaching Day arrived more than a decade later. The first one was held on August 20th, 2011. Originally conceived as another way to celebrate Geocaching Block Party, in Seattle. Bottom line, this has grown into a global occasion. And it's interesting. It gets people outside, gets them off video games, gets them away from the TV, it gets families together. There are more than 3.4 million active geocaches hidden worldwide waiting to be found. Caches have been placed in 191 countries, all 7 continents, including Antarctica. So the polar bears can enjoy geocaching as well.
I don't think there's any in Antarctica, but that's okay.
So
polar bears,
polar bears. There you go. Okay. More than 1.2 billion founded and event attended logs have been recorded. Every cache has a unique GC code used to identify it. Bottom line, the caches basically, you know, they have a logbook that you'll document you were here. And I've heard some, you know, I know before that you leave something, take something, you know, that you use. I know when we did letterboxing, we had the stamps. So you would put your stamp in the logbook in the letterbox, and then you would take the stamp out of the letterbox and stamp your logbook. And so that's how you kept track of what you did. But get outside, enjoy something, whether it be geocaching or letterboxing, or just get out for a good walk, good hike, especially together. Not so much that that's relaxation, but it can be, I guess. You know, relaxation, cleaning, real work. Just do something that isn't of any real value. That's kind of a strange thing to think about too. Relax, eat some lemon meringue pie, commit to learn a new heritage skill over the next year. Which one do you want to learn? What do you want to work on?
I mean, none of them.
None of them? Okay, you're not committing to the... Okay.
Not signing up.
Think about the homeless animals. Don't watch SpongeBob. No SpongeBob tomorrow. All right. So
I'll try not
in
to.
mind too. All right. All right, folks. Any other words? No words of wisdom? All right. Have a great Saturday. And we'll be back tomorrow night. See y'all later. Bye. All right. You want to talk about the shirts or...